All right, man. I got to make it official. I just got the official notification that looked like I'm live and I'm in the place to be tonight. Like I said, good evening to everyone. Welcome to the GG Factor. And tonight I'm solo. That's right. I'm doing this thing by myself and I'm excited about it. But I'm going to give you my schedule for the rest of this month. Next week, we're going to have Hilda Morris from Key Healthcare on the 15th. On the 22nd of this month, July, we're going to have Dr. Rick Markson from Markson Chiropractic. Man, he's taking good care of me because I'm going to tell you something, boy. I was very reluctant about chiropractic care, and Dr. Markson took care of me. I had sciatica. Told me if I give him 3 months, he'll get me to run my marathon. I think that was around that might have been like my 24th or 23rd marathon at that time in my life. That's been more than 10 years ago. And I'm going to tell you something. He did it. So on the 22nd of July, if you hadn't been a believer in chiropractic care, I really say you don't want to miss July 22nd. I'm going to back it up a minute too, because I want to make sure I give due diligence to everyone that's going to be a guest of mine. Hilda Morris is incredible. She's a young African-American woman. Well, she's not young, but young in spirit to me because she is a trailblazer, you know, because honestly speaking, rarely do you see an African American sister in the position she's in, offering healthcare in the capacity that she does. And she has a wealth of knowledge about services that should be available to you, that you should access and make happen. So that's on the 15th of July, Hilda Morris, Key Healthcare. On the 22nd of July, Dr. Rick Markson from Markson Chiropractic. And on the 29th, Terry Avisu Gonzalez. Is that right, Maru? Oh, yeah. She's family. You know, she's my wife's niece, and she's going to be in the house. And boy, she's got 16 Emmys from, it's not Telemundo. Who is it? Univision? Univision. I want to make sure I get it right, because boy, she is, woo. You talking about innovative. You talking about creative. This is what she's all about. Terry, we call her. She's going to bring you so much knowledge about what's going on in media. And with that, I'm going to segue into the reason why I'm here tonight, what I'm all about, what I feel can really happen for all of us in the manner that we should say will make us a better human being on this planet, because when things are trending, there's a reason for it. So, the bottom line is this. There's something going on out here and it's trending. Yep. The first thing we got to talk about very quickly with a little music behind me to get a little pep in my step is this. I just found out just about not even 10 minutes ago that they're talking about Tesla like he's about to take AI to another level. So here, the GG Factor tonight. Here, Gregory Griffin say this. I got the word. Tesla's coming back around the corner, not with those electric cars, but it's AI. He's got a trending robotic type activity going on with this AI capacity he's working in. And I hear that he's about to take it to another level. So right out of the box, hot off the press. I literally just came downstairs, put on my jacket. I was listening to YouTube and heard a little something. I said, wait a minute. The man who didn't think was about to go down with Tesla is about to hear he's taking what I call a real serious professional pivot. So Elon Musk about to do a new thing with AI. I think maybe you might want to know that. Something else is going on that was really, really interesting, and I know that everyone knows all about it already. What's going on with the tariffs? What's going on with President Trump and the global relations that are going on with the war conditions that we're dealing with right now? I hear he's in a big meeting in the White House right now with Netanyahu, and they are getting together to make some things happen to bring a ceasefire. But the ultimate thing that I'm going to stop my music about and tell you about tonight, that's a game changer. Catastrophic conditions. Kerrville, Texas, Kerr County. Dear God, I'm just going to stop for about 5-10 seconds and put a prayer in for them. 108 people have lost their lives. There are 27 young girls amongst those. There's some still missing. And we're just going to hold just a stop moment for them right now. Dear gracious Father, we come to you and we just pray that your will shall prevail, that there'll be a way in Kerr County, that they'll make a way out of no way. We just pray for them right now. There are miracles going on as we speak. Right before I came downstairs to come on to the show, the very first thing I want to share with my viewers and listeners tonight is this. There was a young girl. I mean, they literally just found her in a way that you wouldn't even imagine. 20 miles away from her home where she was swept away by this catastrophic condition, this tsunami of mass water. She was swept away, and this young girl, I didn't get her age. All I know is they say she's a very young girl, 20 miles from her front door, stuck in a tree. And the tree just happened to fall a certain way and came flying by her, and she jumped on the tree. She lost her mother. She lost her father. And she was in that tree from 4 in the morning until 8 a.m. I want you to put this in perspective right now. If you don't believe in a higher authority, if you don't think miracles can happen, if you don't think that something like this could be nothing but God sent, then you don't have the right idea of what I'm talking about to you right now. True miracle. And this is the way it all played out. I got to just start the show by telling you this. This man looked out his window right at a time when this young lady was floating by, and I'm talking high volume tsunami type wave, and he just happened to hear the young girls, "Whoa, whoa, help me." He could have went back in the house. He didn't even have to come out his front door at that particular moment, but that was God. I'm going to say it was the God that was present for that young girl, and he happened to hear her screaming. He was scared to go out of his house because he knew he was living on fragile ground. The man got in his vehicle, took a shot, went down, found the girl hanging in a tree. Been there for 4 hours. She was there in complete darkness. Remember, 4 in the morning is darkness. You know what it feels like. Close your eyes for even 10 seconds right now and imagine 4 hours of that and 25-foot tsunamis coming at you. Tonight's show, the GG perspective is on what's trending and what's the impact. That's what I'm talking about tonight. And I want you to know this. Miracles happen tonight. People were awakening to the true power of the Spirit that's in all of us, that's innate, that's intrinsic, that's inherent in us. When that man said he stood, he just decided to look out of his door just to see what was going on. And right at that moment, this young girl's passing by and she's screaming. He said, that's the one thing. He said, clearly I wouldn't have even seen her, but I heard her. I heard her. I heard her. He went down, he got the young girl. All she wanted was a hug. Just hug me, please. And this man hugged her, took her to his home, gave her a bath. She was stripped to nothing. She was stripped to nothing, but she still has something. The Almighty. And this is a moment about faith right now. This is a moment about a paradigm shift about you might have had some apprehensions about, is there a God? You may even be an atheist. You may be a non-believer. But when you hear about things like this, in moments like this, and there's so many stories like this, but this one, I literally didn't even have it written in my notes to share with you tonight. All I wanted to do was come down and talk about 108 people who lost their lives and 27 of those young girls. Just think about these young girls. And I don't know for sure because I'm not sure on the data given to me whether this young girl was part of a Mystic camp or not. Camp Mystic, excuse me. I don't know if she was part of Camp Mystic or not, but I do know she lived in the county, in the area, and she went 20 miles on that tree for 4 hours in the dark. So the reason why I thought tonight was a great night to speak on behalf of all those out there, give them my prayers, because, man, that could be you or me. I sit here in my home. It's probably been, well, Miriam, it's been about 20 years ago, hadn't it? I sat here in my home and I watched Hurricane Wilma come through my backyard, tear down every single fixture back there but mine. My pool enclosure is still there right now. But what I did see was a big giant oak tree doing like this, you guys, just doing like this. And I knew if it kept going and it kept going and it kept going, it was going to hit my house, let alone just the pool. Well, I'm still here. We removed that tree after that hurricane. But the point I want to make to you is this. If you don't stand for something, you're going to fall for anything. And this is a good time to nurture your spirit. This is a good time to say, let me take where I am from a spiritual perspective to the next level. And I tell you, yes, it was a catastrophic disaster, but look at the miracles. It's all mindset. How do you take it? What do you take from it? And that is one of the things I'm going to segue to about what I'm discussing tonight regarding this situation there in Camp Mystic. There were volunteers. This wells me up too, man. Imagine you're a volunteer. You trained in this kind of work, and you show up, and within 10 minutes, you're gone. It wipes you out. Trained professional volunteers who deal with these kind of disasters, deal with this kind of massive tsunami type waves came in and just took out a few of these volunteers like that. They gave their life trying to save somebody else's life. Just digest that for a minute. I think I'll grab my tea here and just take a little sip. I want you to digest that for a moment. A few people, I didn't get the specific numbers, but there were fatalities from volunteers who were the first responders. So if you're complaining about your life right now, if you're complaining about this instability, if you're complaining about your finances or your health conditions or something you need to do at a job you don't like, man, I'm just going to say bluntly, shut up. Hate to be so cold about it. Shut up. It could always be worse. And that was one of the main reasons why I wanted to stop tonight. There are a lot of things trending, but the entire world is watching up here in the northwest corner, I think it is, of the state of Texas in the United States of America. The entire world is going, dear God, be with them. Because there's still a few missing. There's still people they haven't located. To find that young girl like that, all she wanted was a hug. She'd been so traumatized beyond reason. So if you woke up today, and every day I wake up, I got a pillowcase that says I'm grateful. I grab it. Before I go to bed at night, I grab it. I'm so grateful when I wake up and I'm not in the Ukraine. I'm not in Israel, Gaza. We got some issues going on around this world. It's a very fragile political climate right now. President Trump is meeting with the prime minister of Israel right now. They're trying to just get some level ground right here, right now. The president administration finally called Putin stupid. They finally realized that this Russian idiot is doing things beyond reason, beyond anything but evil. And that's my take on it. Nothing but pure evil. All they want to do is just take over Ukraine. They just want power. They just want the land because they're 40% of producers of all the grain and corn and a lot of things just for people to survive. All Russia wants is power. You think they didn't have enough right now. A senseless war. A very senseless war. We spent, well, put it this way. I'm going to give you some more information relative to what I'm talking about tonight. $840 billion on defense. $840 billion to fight wars, to protect our country, to be allies with others. That's almost $1 trillion. Come on, you got to digest what I'm telling you about tonight. This is serious. And here's the other side of that coin. Then the president administration turns around and decides they want to eradicate things that we need. Medicare, Medicaid, DEI, all kind of programs that are necessary, educational programs, medical programs, cutting back everywhere you could imagine. They're trying to make states self-contained. What are you talking about, making a state self-contained? only to the extent that's necessary. The government is always supposed to be there for us. We pay taxes. And that's why I'm going to segue right now, right out of what I was talking about. Right before I do, though, I got to say this. There was a young lady, her name's Pam Brown. Speaking of Camp Mystic right now, because I don't want to leave without giving her all due props. She went to Camp Mystic 30 years ago. That camp has been there over 75, they say almost a century. Something like this happens. 30 years ago, she went there. This is one of the most popular places in the state of Texas where kids go. Most of those kids had just been dropped off for the 4th of July weekend for a 4-week hip hip hooray. And I don't know if it was the mayor or the governor, but I heard someone talking. I never got who he introduced himself as, but I did hear this, and I want to share it with you tonight. He said, I went home and all I wanted to do was hug my daughter because she's still with me. And I can still see in my vision all those people who I've been around who was just wondering, maybe Sally coming home, if Cynthia's coming home, if Betty going to make it. Game changer, man. Game changer. When that little girl saw that man, all she wanted was a hug. She was trembling. He said she was obviously traumatized, and she made it. It ain't over till it's over. Your story matters. If God allow you to get up every day, you need to be in active pursuit of who you are, who and what your dream is. If you get up, man, shut up. Shoot for the moon and land among the stars because you don't know when it's going to be your last day. When I sit here and that giant tree was swaying back and forth into my house, it could have just hit me, killed me, could have just forget about destroying my pool there. I mean, I really didn't know what to think, what to expect. And all I could do was reminisce some moments like that. And I'm nowhere near what these people went through, but I could feel that traumatic rush, that stress, that tension that kills. Because we all know stress is a silent killer. And my props go out to the CNN news reporter, Pam Brown, and she stood there and looked at that place. And man, she just broke down because she said, dear God, I remember when I was a little girl like this and I came here and I made it through my 4 weeks. I'm speaking truth to you right now. It's like the old Kool and the Gang song. Love the life you live and live the life you love. And I was a bass player back then. Boom, 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 boom. To put a little light in this subject right now to wake us up a little bit. Love your life, man. Function at your maximum potential. Get up and realize that you are mind, body, spirit. I'm going to segue to what's behind me on my 2 books. I'm going to hold them in my hands right now, and I'm going to say this to you. I have a Strive Masterclass every Thursday night, 2 nights from now, 7 o'clock. If you're one of the lucky ones, you come into my Strive class, you come into the Zoom, you type in the word Activate, you'll win a copy of this book. Live your life like you really want to function at your maximum potential. I call it my Strive Masterclass for one reason. You should be striving to be a better version of yourself. That's my job. The mentors who've helped me, I would love to pour it into you. I put in the chat there, or in the comments, I put a very special thing I'm doing tonight. My Get Activated community is only $97 a month. Tonight it's $49. The link's right there. If you're live with us, all you got to do is go into the comments. Miriam, can you see that link? I know I got it there. I'm wondering, can you even see it over there? I hope I put it correctly. But if not, come on out on Thursday night anyway. Theactivator.net is my website. All you got to do is click that. Just go right there, click on the Get Activated community. It'll do a 50% off for you. If it even charges you $97, I'll gladly give you back the other $40, $50. I just want you to know, when we have tsunamis like the one we had, when we have catastrophic things happen like this, we're not promised tomorrow. And you know, my motto is this: we only have now. We only have right now. I don't know about yesterday. I don't know about tomorrow. I can't even change yesterday. I may have some knowledge about it, but I don't know about yesterday impacting my NOW right now. Who knows what the future holds, but I do know this. I have right now. I'm going to offer these books to you. One is strictly on time management. The other one is strictly on taking action in your life. This one will give you the tools necessary. There are 4 weeks of strategies in this book. You commit to yourself for 4 weeks. You sign a commitment to yourself. You take my personal empowerment analysis. It tells you where you are in mind, body, and spirit. You get a 30 days to a new you, should I say 30, 60, 90 is what I'm calling it, my summer special. This is right now, this is the first true week, the first Monday, yesterday in July. July 1st was Tuesday last week. So this is the first Monday. If you dedicated yourself to a 30, 60, 90-day, should I say just commitment to be a better version of yourself in mind, body, and spirit, a commitment to say that I know that 24/7, 168 hours a week lasts for every one of us. If you make it through you make it through that week and you last through that week after the kind of things we're talking about today, you got to say, am I carving out the time to be the best version of myself, to activate my true identity? That's my job. I love to have you be able to say, G got me. The activator got me fired up. That's my job. I also have my 30 days to a new you maximum potential coaching. It's usually $9.97 a month because I micromanage you. You and I get one-on-one. That was discounted to $5.97. So all I can say to you is this. Go to theactivator.net. If you don't see those links over there tonight, all you have to do is click the links. They're right there for you. Every Thursday night, the Strive Masterclass. If I've gotten 2 books here, this is my little medal ready. I always take one of them and kind of flash it. I've done 25 marathons in my lifetime. And I'm not going to sit here and butter up and tell you that was an easy task, but you know something? I found the passion. I found my purpose physically, and I knew the universe gave me a possibility. So what I want to share with you is, let me help you activate your P3. That's your passion. That's your purpose. And believe me, like I always say, you knock on the door and the universe is going to give you possibilities. So that's all right. I got it out the way tonight. I'll wrap it up in another 20 minutes, but I had to stop, do an unconditional plug about the Strive Masterclass on Thursday nights. The link is always on the website, theactivator.net. Now it's time for part 2 of a thing to do. What's trending, G? Well, we talked about that disaster now, and I'm just going to leave that behind me right now because, man, I had a moment with all of that. I'm sure it's still going to be trending for a minute, but that is the thing that's trending around this entire world right now. But the next thing is this. It's the tariffs. Yep, it's the political climate around those tariffs. Because what happens when we get those tariffs, it's a domino effect. If you don't understand what a tariff is, it's very simple. Some people know, some people don't. You pay to do business with the USA. You import something in here, you're going to have to pay for it. And guess what? They're reciprocating it to us. A lot of people who own businesses, they're exporting out and they're getting the big tab slapped on them too. So what are we trying to do right now? Because it's been what they call a self-imposed deadline of August 1st. Today is the 8th. You're only talking about, 23 more days. I think there are 31 days in this month. Yeah, 23 and 8 is 31. 23 days left in this month. And the existing administration is going to just open up 25% to 40% tariffs. Woo! And let me tell you something. We don't see it because it's obscure, but we as consumers, if we're if any one of those businesses that get slapped with that tariffs that we do business with, or you even buy an item from, you're going to pay more for it. They're just going to pass it on to the consumer. And it's obviously going to hurt a lot of business. Now, here's the thing as to why the present administration continues to do what they're doing about these tariffs. See, I learned something that was very interesting just by my research with this. I think it's called a panacea. I don't know how to pronounce this word. I've never even heard it until I did the research. P-A-N-A-C-E-A, panacea. If I'm saying it right or not, but I want you to get my drift. This thing A panacea is simply supposed to be something that the present administration is using. Trump is using this to be a catch-all for an economic turnaround, a catch-all for stretching the elasticity of demand for anything to the extent that people who need this are going to have to pay for it no matter what price that he slaps on it. And he's slapping it, and they got to have it because they still want to do business with us. And guess what? We have raised since January or whenever the first round of tariffs were slapped on, $85 billion. Woo! I want you to digest that for a moment. $85 billion have come into what our government, coming in my pocket, you know, my brother's still trying to make it work out here. But I'm not being facetious right now. Where's that money? What they doing with it? Where's that money? What they doing with it? That's a lot of money, man. $85 billion that you didn't have, and now you got the influx. I always used to tell my kids, okay, either you can quantify or it's a lie. If you can't quantify, it's suspect. And you lean in and say, something feels a little suspect about that 85 billion. And simultaneously, concurrently, they are deciding that they want to still cut the budgets. You got an $85 billion intake from the tariffs, but you still decide you want to cut the budgets. Man, there's something wrong with that, man. The big, beautiful bill, huh? Who is it beautiful for? It's very simple. The wealthier are just going to get wealthier. Why would you cut programs on innocent people? Why? I don't understand it. You just picked up 85 billion, baby. You just got some more money. You got, what did I say? Was it 740 billion? I don't know if that's $740 billion on a bill that was signed in 2021. They've had that money for a long time. And you still just don't seem to understand that this panacea that I was talking about is supposed to be called, this tariff is supposed to be somewhat of a panacea. And what does it do? It's supposed to catch all of the things that are going on economically that we can handle, like, creating more blue collar jobs. It's supposed to clear the deficit. What else is it supposed to do? Reduce taxes. And it's supposed to stop all of this, all of the disputes and the kind of things that are going on with foreign trade. That panacea is supposed to slow down all of that. That 85 billion that he got. Suspect. There's some hidden obscurities in this picture that don't seem to surface until somebody else is a victim of a certain circumstance. And you know what I mean by that, dance? Somebody's doing something and we don't feel it until it hits home with us. Let's talk about home for a minute. I heard the president administration saying, oh, everything's going to be great. Just wait. Everything's going to be great. I had it on my iPad here. It just bothered me, man. When you hear that, we'll do the grocery shopping. Every now and then, I'll just take off and run to Costco, or I'll take off and run around the Publix, my little local grocery store around here, go to Walmart. Very rarely do I get myself out in that mix. They're only 24/7, 168 a week, and I'm busy. Bless my wife, doesn't mind doing it. She go out and take care of it, but she comes back and she tell me, everything is going up. Everything is going up, but there's not enough what we call lateral concurrent movement in finances to help us. Think about this. I want you to put this in proper perspective. There's something called the COLA. I talk about it all the time, the cost of living allowance. And these tariffs, when you get 85 billion in surplus, and then you're still cutting back where that money's going to become surplus, right? If you cut back on the programs, you're not funding them. Where's that money going? What y'all doing with it? Who you giving it to? See, I don't know what to tell you, man. See, I'm not a politician. I've been thinking about it. I ain't going to sit here and lie to you because, every voice matters. I'm a retired teacher. I never made a fortune as a teacher, but I always felt I made a difference. But I never understood this because it's relevant to this conversation. Every year, we have the legislative branch, the judicial branch, and the executive branch. And there's always this big old last minute, Tug of war. Everybody's just screaming at each other. The senators and the House of Representatives and the Democrats and the Republicans and everybody just going at it, man, because of money, because of a budget. And me as the teacher for 31 years, and my little what's supposed to be my COLA is what I'm relating to right now. My cost of living allowance, man, I got pissed off, man. I got mad. I got angry. I was like, come on, man. People get up every morning, drop their kids off from anywhere from 7 to 10 hours if you're doing sports. If you're in the chorus or you're doing something in a special club or special activity, some kids stay up, they get up in the morning, show up on campus at 7 o'clock, and some of them don't even leave until 7 o'clock. Go home, cram with their notebooks and get their homework done and jump up and go right back. They spend more time at school than they do home, but you don't want to pay teachers. Something in that equation wrong. I'm in Florida. What's up, Governor Sanders? I don't know what's up, man. A position that's so critically important. I did it for 3 decades of my life. 3.1. I'm going to make sure I say 31 years. Started in 1992 at Coconut Creek High School. I left after 4 years, came down into Pembroke Pines where I bought a beautiful home that I'm still sitting in. And let me tell you something, man. Found a beautiful wife at Flanagan High School. Stayed 16 years there. And the politics of education just made me feel like the walls was closing in. You need to make a change. You need to take a pivot. And God made a way for me to go to West Broward High School, the second-rated high school down here in Broward County, Florida, which is the 6th or the 7th largest school district in the country. And I just got the great news today. Broward County School District got an A rating. So I feel proud to say for my last 11 years, I was in the A-rated school, special needs teacher. 7 of my years at Flanagan High School, I was a cross-country coach. I want to lean in on this right now. I got to. Imagine you coaching kids 5 days a week and on Saturday. 5 days a week and on Saturday when you had your meets. And at the end of that 3-month period or 4-month period, you might get $1,000. I want that to soak in right now. I did that for 7 years. I didn't even think about the money. It was a joke. And the reality that I'm trying to bring to everyone right now, we live in this economic system. The cost of living allowance should be in alignment with inflation, but it's not. But all those politicians who are responsible for documentation, for being able to, should I say, quantify the reason why they're telling us this big fat lie. I'm going to say that again. They're trying to quantify the reason why they're telling us a lie. That money going somewhere. Where's that $85 billion going? Where's that money going? Somebody needs to tell me. You're damn right. I'm pissed off, man. I know how much money it took for me to just take care of myself. If I would have been just a teacher, if all I relied on was my teaching income, if I never wrote 2 books, if I never bought millions of dollars in real estate, if I never owned a strip mall, if I never even ran my entertainment company I still do right now, that's my first love for passion for music. I don't know if I would have stayed to be a teacher. I have an undergraduate degree in business administration, and I went into business for myself in the music business. And God blessed me to be able to stay in that business, sustain myself, and do what's necessary. But everybody teaching can't do that. They can't. And they shouldn't have to. I shouldn't have to go running out looking for another gig somewhere or another second income because my teaching job don't pay me enough. Shame on you, our federal government. Shame on you guys when you get in the big room and you decide where the budget going to go for education, what you're going to pay a teacher. Boy, but you pay them principals, don't you? You pay those APs, don't you? You pay those superintendents, don't you? There's a disconnect somewhere in all of this, and somebody need to connect the dots. I don't know what to say. This is my perspective. Who am I? Just a retired teacher, just a musician, just a guy that bought some real estate. There's no in the hell I'll be sitting here in this home right now by myself if all I did was teach school. I know people who were doing that. What they pay teacher assistants is disgusting. When an ESC teacher couldn't make it without a teacher assistant. But they say, here, that's what we're going to give you. And we'll give you some benefits to make you feel comfortable. Come on, man. Let's get real, man. Let's get real. That's why I put it out there tonight. That's why I said I'm going to talk about what's trending, but I'm also going to talk about what's the hidden obscurity that they're telling us it's the truth, but it's a lie. And the states where they're paying even more to teachers is because this COLA is so much higher. The cost of living in New York City is wacko. The cost of living in Los Angeles is wacko. Now, they're not paying the teachers what they should down in Florida because guess what? The cost of living in Miami is wacko. I owned an apartment building in Miami Beach for 20 years. And let me tell you something, man. Just to be able to rent a place, the kind of job you had to even have, it's scary. And you keep trying to figure out what's up. When will somebody wake up? When will they say, let's that 85 billion, maybe we'll put $1 billion over here for the teachers. Maybe they'll have mercy on them. Why is it like that? Why is it like this? Can somebody help me out? If you're over there making a comment or something, I can't even see it. But when somebody can help me out, I don't know. I'm finally seeing my comments here. I'm sorry. I'm so into what I'm doing. I see a few people saying exactly they're feeling what I'm talking about. And all I'm trying to tell you is this, man. Something got to change, man. You getting up, you sending your kids to a place where you feel certain they're going to get the meals, they get the free breakfast, some of them get free lunch. And all we asking you to do is the people who are facilitators, the practitioners of education, the people who are responsible for cognitive expansion, the people who create minds, should I say, a mindset shift about who, what, where, when, and why. Mindset shifts in kids. Mindset shifts in kids right now. There are teachers who come in and turn a kid life around. I'm dealing with kids with cognitive deficits. They're not functioning on that level like these kids who are dealing with robotics and STEM. What's that? Science, technology, what is it? Something else in math. What's that E? What is that E? I'm sorry, I can't even think of it. But that STEM program is, engineering, excuse me. Kids at my school, West Broward High, creating robots in high school because they got so fed up from the teacher, the facilitator of the information, the practitioner. Oh, yeah, but you want to give them pennies, don't you? Shame on you. Yeah, I'm pissed off. And the more I talk about it, the more it makes me angry. I'm sorry. You might not want to log on tonight and hear this from me. When I go solo, like Michelle said, hey, hello, you hit lower. This is a ridiculous shame what's going on in this country right now. So much money being spent on things that are quite irrelevant. But you got to understand something, baby. There's a power structure going on right now. There are people who are in control that are already wealthy. They have an agenda and they're controlling it. The apprentice is in the White House. What can we do about it? That's reality. That's reality. I'm not denouncing anyone. I'm speaking truth right now. If you're totally wealthy already, and you seem to be oblivious to the reality of what's going on down on ground level, come on, man. It's time for a change about that. I don't care how much, and how hard we try. It won't happen if somebody in the big house up there understands education is critically important. Economic stability is critically important. Mental health is critically important. You guys know what I'm talking about tonight. And this tariff thing, when I realized that from April, I don't know when we kicked in the first round, but $85 billion we've raked in. And then what are we doing with it? What are we repositioning these funds to? Who? So tonight, that was my take on everything tonight. The last thing that was trending for me, and I'll talk about it, because I said I was going to go maybe 40, 45 minutes, was this. My man Puff Daddy, what's up? Boy, he went through some crazy stuff. He's still going through it. But you have to ask yourself, why Puff? What's up with that? Why? Why? I heard he's worth $338 million. What's up with that, man? You can't tell me you can't level off and just have a life where you're normal. Something wrong in the equation. I don't understand it. My heart goes out to his family right now. I think he has 6 children. My heart goes out to them because dad just went through something traumatic. You know, when the whole world saw him, going through what he went through, man, and he got on social media, he apologized, of course, because I always say everybody can turn their life around. And my prayers for Puff Daddy is that he just turns his life around. He was acquitted of some very serious things, but he still got some things pending. So not to put a lot of energy in that direction tonight, but I want to say this to you. There are choices and there are consequences. There are ramifications for the actions. And we must understand there are ramifications for the actions. I met a man this week on a different side of the coin, and I got to put his name out there. I'm praying that he'll agree to come on my show. His name is Ray Hicks. I love you, my brother. I watch your documentary. I've been reading your book. I love you, my brother. You've been there. You've done that. This man has been through more than what you could ever imagine. Unconditional plug. His book is called I'm Standing. Ray Hicks, Raymond Hicks, a former Miami Dolphin, a former BSO, Broward Sheriff's officer, locked up for something he didn't do, been spending the last 2 decades of his life fighting this situation. And here's the point I'm trying to make. It's the system. There's something wrong with the system. How could you incarcerate a man that's innocent, take everything away from him and his family, anguish him, put him in a hole, and just forget he was a sheriff? He was in jail with people that he put in jail. This man, I'm telling you something, man. I got so much respect for him. And I met him through God's will. I'm just out with my videographer, having some breakfast, shooting some reels for social media. And the guy pulls up, actually sitting in his car when I went to my car. We both got, pretty decent cars. So he got a nice BMW. I was sitting there in my Mercedes. I was waiting to do a reel, and he blew his car up. And I said, hold on, Josh, let's wait till he finished what he's doing over there. And we rolled the window down. Josh recognized him. My videographer recognized this guy and said, yo, man, you on Vlad. VLAD, Vlad is what it's called. I never even heard of Vlad until that day. Then I knew of Ray Hicks from back in the day, but never met him, obviously. But we end up standing out there talking for about 45 minutes. And boy, look at here, man. You just talk to somebody, just get a 360 about life, about what you think you're going through today. You think you're going through something, boy, I'm going to say, shut up. Nah, your circumstances can't even compare. I thought I had been through a whole lot and had to, oh no, shut up, G. Just shut up. Not after your race story. So I'm going to end this on a very positive note tonight. The questions I had, and I tried to be realistic about them, was, all the things I talked about, I'm speaking about them because they impact my life, man. I stayed on my job as a teacher because I love teaching kids. I never stayed there to get my paycheck. I was making more money playing music in a week sometimes than I got for a whole month teaching, So all I'm just saying is that I just love the job. I love seeing those kids smile. I just love it. And when I was coaching those girls, and you know something, I didn't even realize it. This is how you got to know when it's your passion and your purpose, the universe gives you possibilities. You must activate that P3. My unconditional plug once again, Thursday nights, the Strive Masterclass. Come into my room. Just come in there for a minute. Hit that Stripe link tonight. It's only $49.99. Take 3 months. Give me 3 months of your life. Woo, boy, what a difference that can make. Maybe you want to write your first book. I've got 2. Maybe you want to buy your first property. I bought millions of dollars in property. I still own an apartment building up there in Tampa. I'm blessed to say I'm a retired teacher, got my pension. All glory to God, because it could have been a time where I wouldn't have had one. Guess what? Like the teachers who are coming in now paying for their own pensions. It's scary, man. Wait till I make a little more money. Y'all might hear from me, man, because when I have a voice like this, I feel like somebody got to speak up, man, or say something, because it's just not right. But I want to inspire you and empower you every Tuesday night. And tonight has been out of sight. We shared a lot of things. A lot of things are going on. I mean, at the end of the day, it's one of those situations where sometimes you kind of have to stop. You put things in perspective. I want to look at another sheet here that I want to look at, that I had some other things I wanted to actually break before I really get off here. We talked about politics and tariffs tonight. We talked about government spending. We talked about that false panacea. Remember what that PANACEA is. A panacea is supposed to be a strategic way to take a bubble of opportunity out of one opportunity. The tariffs were supposed to just reduce deficits, give low-income, entry-level, blue-collar jobs a big boost, improve foreign affairs. It was supposed to do that kind of stuff, but we're cutting. We're still cutting. So all I can say to you tonight, the one thing that's trending, if you're looking for a place where you might want to move and take the pivot, if you're on a job that you don't like, but as long as you do it with passion, man, if you move into robotics or you move into the field of technology, for anything dealing with AI right now, that report I got tonight, it sounds like they're about to take off. They're about to take off. So if you got a little liquidity and you want to put a little money in the stock market, I tell you right now, they're talking about Tesla and all of that stuff. Boy, look at here. That Elon Musk is done did a 360. He done jumped deeper on the AI wagon, and he's about to come out and blast. So all I can say is this. Everything else is going to continue to skyrocket. Manufacturing of things are going to cost a lot more, so it's going to cost us more. I talked about the cola. I talked about how many jobs are being eradicated. I talked about the tensions that increase from that, the mental instability of that. But you know what? All of us, each and every last one of us, and I'll leave you with this tonight. It's innate, it's intrinsic, it's inherent, it's inborn in us. It's the foreign effect that's always present. And always remember this, and Gregory the Activator said it tonight. The only limitations that exist are the ones you place upon yourself. If you say, I can't, I'm telling you, my friends, it's a sure shot that you won't. If you say, I can't, but if you just say, yes, I can, yes, I will, yes, I must. And I want to talk to you and say this to you tonight. Be like that caterpillar. Go inside for a moment. Become the chrysalis. Go inside, take a deeper look at yourself. Believe in yourself, man. Let nobody stop you from believing in your dream. Mr. G wouldn't be sitting here right now. I thank my man Brendan Boyd for telling me, boy, look here, man, you ought to go and do that YouTube show, and I'm enjoying this. I'll probably do once a month like this by myself, but don't forget, next Tuesday night, we'll be back with my special guest. Boy, she is the bomb on Key Health, and that's the name of her company, Key Healthcare. Her name is Hilda Mars, and this sister's on fire. If you want to know about how to make your money work with healthcare, how to get the right kind of medical coverage, and guess what? Newsflash. Hilda has developed a supplement that is all about me. It's about how I've ran my 25 marathons and all the supplements I take. I got a supplement coming in the fall. It's called the Activator. And guess who helped me develop? Hilda Morris. And you know what? I'm excited about it. Because if you don't have your health, you got nothing. Your health is your wealth. Until next Tuesday night, but hopefully I'll see some of you 2 nights from now. Every Thursday night, I'm on this thing twice a week. I got guests coming up, but on Thursdays, it's just me and you and getting into this mindset. I love you guys. Go out and do something you've never done. Be something you've never been, because that's the beginning of being uncomfortable. And guess what? You got to get used to being uncomfortable. That's a real secret. Get out that comfort zone. So remember, theactivator.net will get you everything you need to know about me. Theactivator.net. This episode will be there for you to review. Maybe I say something that fired you up tonight. Maybe I inspired you tonight. Maybe I empowered you tonight, and that's my job. So until the next time, I'm going to say, God bless you. See you. Hey, come on out. The Strive Masterclass. You could be a winner of one of these books Thursday nights at 7 o'clock. My acronym: study, try, remember, innovate, visualize, and educate yourself forever, because guess what? They can take everything but your knowledge. Knowledge is power. Activated knowledge is power. Activated knowledge is power. Till next Tuesday at 7 o'clock. Hilda Morris, Key Healthcare. Be blessed.